Gravelord is a new first-person shooter that is just released in early access. It's one to add to the boomer shooter genre. We have many of these to play, and I can tell you, even when we have a situation where a shooter comes along, and we have another one, as long as it's another fun one, that's pretty much all we need. Not every game is going to blow you away, or really shake the genre. I think these developers are just going for a good fun time, like reliable fun, nothing out of the ordinary, and if anything, something a bit safer and a bit more familiar. That being said, that might push some people away, those people trying to find the next big game-changing thing. But for us that just want some solid first-person shooting fun, I think Gravelord is a fun start, and I hope only gets better as it progresses through its early access period. Gravelord sort of reminds me of something very fast with its movements, kinda like Quake-like here. You aren't taking the time to reload or any of that. You need to push forward and shoot plenty of bad guys, from other gunmen, various monsters, and so on. Some of the enemies even surprise you, like these fire throwers that when killed their body goes away, but their head will then try to track you down. They're rat-like foes, and I found these to be the most annoying, because they were just too small and hard to hit. Thankfully you can get away pretty quickly from them. Shooting feels decent to solid, with sound effects and impact falling in line with that. There's the usual blood and gore to keep the visuals appealing as you slaughter many enemies. Design-wise, it's usually about you trying to find various keys to unlock your path. Sometimes levels get clever in sort of how they circle back onto themselves, and you might even unlock some shortcuts too. Like in one, you need to guide a coffin to a location. Secrets are there as well, providing you with useful supplies. New guns are introduced regularly, along with upgrades to the guns that you already have, providing additional alternative fires. Like the main pistol can then do a burst shot if you so choose. I do think the game gets a nice dose of energy once you get the chain-like machine gun, that when paired with the shotgun is very nice. Then you have parts where you get this shovel, and these can allow you to teleport to set spots on the map, turning the design into being more vertical, as you find spots and then you can zip and zoom too. When used in combat arenas, this is where you start to see everything coming together. When paired together, it creates a really fun time. Sadly, you cannot use the shovel all the time, and it would appear that you need to then find this every time when you're in a new level. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I lean more of the direction that you should have just earned this, and then you always have it and can use it for the rest of the game, instead of just reintroducing it every time you need it, but I might feel differently as I keep playing. There's other upgrades as well as you explore levels and you'll find these cards. The cards have various buffs, and even fun trade-offs that help you consider which ones you want to use. So they come in different tiers, and you can have 3 equipped at any time. I really like the health regeneration one. It sort of gave me something to fall back on if things got hairy, and I couldn't find any more health. Others allow you to spawn in friendly rats, and they will then fight for you for a period of time. Another can improve your defenses when you're really low on health. Another can provide you with armor by killing enemies. There's a decent amount of these things, and in concept I really do like them, because you can sort of create these different builds based on the cards that you go with. My issue with this is that I really wanted to be able to equip any of the 3 cards that I had, instead of being restricted to equip 1 card from each of the 3 tiers. Maybe this is done for balancing, I'm not sure. But again, this is something when I played this more, I really wish that I could have true freedom into equipping whatever cards I wanted. Levels do get more intricate and involved as I kept going, sort of like the game is evolving as you progress. More spaces to fight through, more to unlock, more secrets to find. It's a boomer shooter, so the gameplay is focused on the action. Like I said, I think Gravelord does do this pretty well. The shooting is fun, the game is well paced enough, things kept getting interesting enough, and while there is this ho-humness to the whole thing that pops up while I was playing it, it still is something that provided a solid amount of fun. It's reliable. I do want to backtrack just a bit, go back to the cards and how it relates to the difficulty. I was playing the game on normal, and maybe this comes down to a skill issue too, so I'll say that up front. But I actually found this game to be a lot harder than I thought. Like, enemies on normal inflict way too much damage. It was at the point where I felt pushed in the direction of having the cards that would give me more health and defense, so that I would have a better chance at surviving the firefights. You can save anywhere, and there are checkpoints too, so that is good, but I think the game needs some more tweaking with the balancing of the difficulties. Essentially, I chose to play this on normal, and I would expect the experience would be one that I could mostly stroll through, with some bits of challenge along the way. Nothing major, but enough if that makes sense. Normal felt like I was actually playing this on hard. I think that is where this game would benefit from better balancing in this department. Because of the difficulty, I wanted to experiment with different cards, but every time I just went out of the defensive ones, I ended up making the game artificially harder because of this. So I resorted to just using the cards that gave me more health and defense, so I wouldn't get into a tough situation down the line. And as a result, I was not experimenting with the newer cards that appeared, and they also seemed to be pretty fun. But I didn't really want to risk being in a situation where I ended up dying. Again, not a horrible issue, one that can be annoying and one that can hurt some of the personalization and customization that the game is trying to go for with the cards. But I do think this is something that can be improved and tweaked upon during this early access period. My next point might sound a bit odd. I feel like the game really lacks a soundtrack at times to really getting you into the action, whether you are shooting or just exploring. Sometimes if it's there, it's really good, and I really noticed it during some of the bigger arena fights. Other times I felt like it needed it, and the absence very much reminded me that a good soundtrack can help to fuel a game better. I do wonder if this game would benefit from more of something like that. There are attempts at humor, and some of these things will make you smile, while others will just make your eyes roll. I appreciated the attempts at providing personality to our main character, and with the humor, but not every one of those is gonna land, though I did like the comic book style cutscenes.
I'm just a simple guy from Storm. Always wake up early in the morning and do my lovely job like my daddy and his daddy used to do. But lately, things have been falling apart.
So as my title says, so is Gravelord a game changer of a boomer shooter? Or is it just another fun one? I think right now it's just another fun one, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. We don't need something coming out and changing the game all the time. Sometimes we just need something that's good and fun. Something that's just good to sit down with and shoot a lot of things. There are areas that could benefit from some more refinement, and well, that is where you have your early access period used for. If this developer uses this period well, they can create that community and really listen to the feedback on the fans that provide it, and find the best ways to then implement it to make a better game. Something else that seems really cool is that coming for the full release is a level editor. Something like this could really give this game a lot of legs, and vastly improve its replay value. I think I saw other additional modes like Horde as well. Gravelord is solid, I like it, it's fun. This might be something that I check back in with after it receives some of its updates. As it stands right now, I like it, and I would recommend that you keep an eye out for this one. Have you heard of Gravelord? Have you played it? What are some other boomer shooters you enjoy? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.